Oh yeah, that's right. Zelda emulated on Project 64. Took me forever to get this to work. And then yeah, Halo for the PC used Fraps, and used the PlayStation emulator for that. I couldn't get the PC version to work with Fraps. And same with that Metal Gear Solid there. I just used the there's a plugin for capturing video off a PlayStation emulator.
If not the most intelligently written series.
Wait, no, that's right. I'm sorry. I used the PC version for Metal Gear Solid. Oh well, that stuff doesn't matter. That took me forever though, and that's just there for a few seconds. Oh yeah, here we are. The man. As far as I'm concerned, the greatest writer-director of all time. Also, of course, then, the greatest game creator of all time. No question. You know, I got that blatantly wrong here in retrospect, looking back. I really wanted to see so much of what I think in the material. I'm wrong, because ultimately, I mean, let's look at this for what it is. Metal Gear Solid 2 is a game where ultimately the AIs are the antagonists. They're the villains. And they just are really good villains. I mean, they're extremely smart. Their arguments are really good. They're very justified, you know. The only thing in Hollywood it's really comparable, and I've heard someone else make this comparison at a panel about writing at an anime con, was, you know, the end of Watchmen. What really makes a good villain is they have really good motivation for what they do, and that it's very justifiable, and there's a really good gray area there. And that's what Kojima's doing here, and it is spectacular. Of course, I want to project my view, what I said earlier in the opening about Kojima saying that using this scene to justify the fact that the AIs should control the government, or that they're in the right here. I'm dead wrong, because of course they're still the villains in this game, and you know, I'll talk about Metal Gear Solid 4 later, but you know, everything aside, they're still in the story overall to be evil, and for us to hate them, for them to creep us out a lot, and for them to make good points too. But you know, that's still where they are in the story. And like I say later, after this cutscene, you know, Raiden still basically rejects everything that they made him be, and says, you know, he'll find something for himself. And that's, you know, that's really where Kojima's going here with this. Ultimately, they're still villains, but they're really good. So that's the thing. It's so good. The writing is so good. I can really project my thoughts on the matter onto what I think Kojima was saying. But yeah, I was totally wrong. Kojima, I've realized, because people have pointed out in the comments on this video too. And by the way, thank you all the people who actually comment and say things. And I can't believe I have so many effing views on this video, and I've barely made anything in the last 2 years. I feel really, really shitty about that. I just came out with my Ghost in the Shell video like 3 days ago, and I have my degree, and I'm also unemployed as of today. Oh Jesus, it's kind of sad to admit that right now, but I still haven't made it to LA yet. I'm sitting here with a film degree, the minor in script writing. You know, I've got a couple, well, more than a couple. I've got a few script ideas. First one, I've basically got it fleshed out. I just need to actually write the draft. I'm going to try to sell that, which is the most plausible thing. And later on, I've got a science fiction script that's really heavily inspired by this. This is my biggest inspiration as a writer, to write that one script that I'm thinking of that will probably be what I would consider my greatest work. I've got a few other things that I think could really say something, though. I actually plan on doing a very loose adaptation of the prequel to Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and adapting it as a Western. That may sound crazy. I wonder if anyone else could see that. I really got the idea of thinking of doing a Western version of it. because of the soundtrack. There's this one track, Moonlight Wandering, that was just freaking beautiful. That and some of the music that plays during the more emotional moments in the game. But you know, that's not important. I should be talking about this video. Yeah, I really appreciate the comments. Everybody's like, my God, like less than 10% of the comments do I think are silly, stupid, or pointless. Probably even less than that, like 5% or less. Almost everything anyone's posted, I'm very proud of. I mean, of anything that I could possibly be making right now. And I've got 2 other YouTube channels. I might eventually post what they are in my channel description.
And there you have it.
One's a gaming one. That's really, I got my Xbox Live gamer tag, one video on there, and then some stuff with Crysis 2. Oh yeah, my God! Like when I was editing this video, like just Jesus, it'll be 3 years this year. Oh, when I originally did this video, I was working off my laptop, which is still here. I need to sell it. It's really shitty. It was made in 2007, and it's just a dual core, you know, Core 2 Duo with like 4 gig of RAM, and I went all out here. Well, I mean, pretty close to all out for this new PC. I've got like 16 gig quad channel memory. I've got Intel's newest quad core, the 3770 i7. It's like literally the 3rd or 4th best quad core you can get. It's just prohibitively expensive to get anything really. It's really good for cost effectiveness. I've got a solid state drive. I'm gonna have 2 hard drives in here. But my God, like Windows, I've got Windows 8 Pro 64-bit on this thing. Like, the starting up Windows screen will last anywhere from 1 to 3 seconds on average. And just, my God, it's good to have a good editing computer. Granted, if I would have known I was about to not have a job, oh well. Fuck it. I mean, hey, upside, I'm gonna make a lot more videos now, and here's hoping that people watch them. And I still remember there was one guy who commented on this video who actually almost offered me a job as a psych analyst. Like, it sounded like, I'm not sure that's an official position. I'm pretty sure the writing positions are more generic for video game. I mean, my field is, you know, I know film and TV writing positions. I know that. I do not know video game development team, staff, writing position names, but I wish that guy would have gotten back to me, or like, I don't know what happened, if he was being serious or not. But hey, you know, right now, geez, I'd take it, man. I've got no obligations at the moment, except I'm really sorry. It has been a whopping nearly 3 years. It'll be 3 years at the end of this summer since I made this video. And I mean, quite frankly, you know, I'll be honest, it's not because I had a job and I was working on my degree and I was, of course, a full-time student and I was working like pretty good part-time hours. You know, that's normal people's excuse. Like me, like I was doing all that, but then on top of that, I was gaming like 50 hours a week. Since 2006, I basically had a Xbox 360 achievement addiction, kind of. But last year was so piss poor in terms of the games that came out. I honestly just, I'm done. I haven't really picked up a game to get achievements on it seriously for like at least a month. This month it'll be 2 months. I've really only played video games just to record a video to put it on my YouTube channel, and I'm working on another video for Anime Con. Oh my God, that's right. Jesus, before I forget. So, the voice actor here for Raiden is Quinton Flynn. He's a pretty good English VA. What am I saying? Pretty good. He's a pretty big VA. He's very good. He's very well known. And I met him 2 years ago at an anime convention. I live in the St. Louis area, and I really wanted to talk to him about this. I really wanted to get an interview with him. At the time, my school was literally like a 10-minute drive from the hotel where the convention was being held, and I was desperately trying to get... I got him to sign my copy of Metal Gear Solid 2. I was desperately trying to get him to come for an interview. I mean, he's done a lot of other stuff. He's done Reno from Advent Children for Final Fantasy VII, and also in, I believe, I forget if Reno was in the Dirge of Cerberus cutscenes for that, but oh my god, you know, he's also Axel in Kingdom Hearts. I played all of those. But yeah, I mean, him being Raiden here, and then in Metal Gear Solid 4, and then, you know, lead character now in Revengeance, which is coming out, which I still have to play the demo for. I could talk to him about that. Well, I could now, but that's the thing. Like, you know, 2 years ago, I wanted to snag an interview with him, no dice. He didn't have time. His schedule was short. But he was, see, he genuinely seemed like he was interested in talking about it. Although, granted, I know I really shouldn't get my hopes up, because I don't, you know, you never know when it comes to voice actors what their feeling of involvement is with every role, because again, this guy's done a lot of stuff. And 2 years ago, somebody asked him at one of his panels at Kawakon here in St. Louis about, oh hey, you know, you got signed on for Metal Gear Rising, right? And he gave the really good diplomatic answer of, well, I haven't. But if I had, I couldn't tell you. So, like, I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, that's the diplomatic answer, but hey, he's totally been signed. Of course they're gonna sign him. Why the hell wouldn't they? Oh man. But so yeah, I didn't get the interview with him 2 years ago. He's coming back, and the convention is in like 1 week from today. Is that right? No. Yes, it's 1 week from today on the 8th. It'll start. I'm on staff for it now. I met the con chair of Kawakon at the Quinton Flynn panel 2 years ago and started geeking out with her about Metal Gear Solid. And I basically am just on the staff now. She went to my university though, so yeah, I'd heard about her previously. I'd never met her in person. She's really, my god, she puts together so much for it. She's really well motivated and everything, but explain it to him. Oh man, just, I've got another chance. He's coming back this year. He wasn't there last year. We got him because I believe his agent or his manager also has under their wing one of the other guests. So they like threw in a package deal like, hey, I'll throw in Quinton Flynn for a reduced rate. I'm guessing. I don't know. I was just told like a week or two ago that we were getting him. So, oh god, like, all I've got really now, like, is 2 microphones, and I'll bring a laptop. Unless I can get 2 cameras, the camera I have is so horrible. I might use it, but I might, like, feel so bad. I really would like to do a professional-looking 2-camera interview, though. I don't really have any access to any equipment. I might spend the extra money and rent a couple cameras from a place nearby, or I might try to get somebody I know from the university to like get some on the university loan from the media center. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but oh man, I want to snag that interview because Conchair mentioned that he's pretty friendly with interviews. Like, he doesn't charge, or he's not really strict. As long as I can snag the time, I can get him to come to the hotel room and just have everything set up. Ah, man, so much to talk about this whole thing right here. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, what else do I have to say? Yeah, I mean, I'm still shocked. I've barely made any videos, and you know, I've got my, like the edited clip show I have from the Matrix science-ish documentary, but with clips about artificial intelligence posted. I've got this video. I've got a video from Final Fantasy X before I made my other YouTube channel for gaming. And now I've got my Ghost in the Shell analysis video. I was sitting on that script for so long, like last summer. I wrote the script for that last summer. I made almost no changes since then. I bought the Blu-ray. I had problems editing off the Blu-ray with my old computer, but this computer, fuck it. I just copy the MTS files, I believe, whatever the native file format for Blu-ray is. I just copy right off the disc. For Christ's sake, I'm using Premiere Pro CS6. Dear Lord, it's just so up to date. It's crazy.
And now the ultimate demonstration for players of the game just how easy it is
just
to
edit
control
straight off the
people who have
Blu-ray.
abilities of an
Just
AI.
full quality, everything, not a problem, no lag, don't need to render anything, everything plays in real time. My video entry for the con, same thing, amazing to edit on this computer now. I'm definitely going to put it to good use. I'm going to start making videos fairly often. Although again, like, I realize I said at the end of my this video right here, I said, hey, I'll be making more follow-up videos. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's been a while, and I'm finally getting to it. I'll consider them follow-up videos in that I'm generally talking about the same subjects. Like my Ghost in the Shell video is kind of about, well, not necessarily free will. This whole moment, this conversation here is really more about, you know, free will versus determinism ultimately, because can you have a program predict human behavior? The S3 right here, that's what it's about. And of course I would say yes. I still remember when I originally wrote the script for this, I felt like I was coming on too strong if I were to make statements like, I completely agree with the AI here. Like, 99%. I don't agree with what it says about free will, because personally I'd argue there is no such thing. It's an invention. Stephen Hawking famously said, philosophy is dead, what do we need it for anymore? And he's really right. I mean, I sit in my, oh my god, my philosophy class, my last year of college. I waited till then, even though my freshman first semester, I took World Religions, The Meaning of Life was my freshman seminar with the philosophy chair. I've had a number of psychology classes. I'm pretty well read. I know religions in a general constructive sense inside and out. I'm pretty well versed in most things about philosophy now.
Is it really so hard to believe
and
if you had the abilities of
I would sit in that class and, you know, people just
when AIs come about,
in my because I went to a liberal arts college because, you know, I got a film degree. That's what I want to do. I want to write specifically for film, and Metal Gear Solid is my inspiration. You know, I would sit in that class and I feel like I'm coming from, you know, the more, I have more of a science background, even though that's not true in formal discipline in any way. You know, I was doing calculus in high school and physics, and I literally crammed every single possible math and science course I could in high school. And in college, like, the calculus course was an odd number of credits, so I was like, screw that. I took computer programming because it was an, well, not odd number, but it was a 3. It was 3 credits per course, so I could fit that into my schedule for around 18 credits every semester, aside from my first semester that I took. Well, anyway, that's my background. You know, I'm sitting in this philosophy class, and like, these kids, it kind of makes me sad. You know, maybe I'm, you know, I will admit, yeah, sure, people call me arrogant. I like to think I'm just confident because I know things, I know what I'm talking about. You know, I'll sit there and say, like, yeah, religion's BS. I mean, what do you know about the Bible? Do you have any idea why we have it, where it comes from? You know, where did we get it? Do you have any idea that we're using an English translation, you know, a few centuries old, the King James? Where did that come from? Why are the books in there? You know, we're talking about the Council of Nicaea then next, if I were to follow that up. You know, what was canon was decided then by the Roman Empire, which is probably the only reason we in the West are Christians. And what was canon then was picked out of a lot of other Gospels that we don't have anymore. And even if you were to talk about, you know, the main Gospels, the 4 Gospels we accept today, they were written bare minimum 30 years years after Jesus supposedly lived. And, you know, we could go on about, you know, there's plenty of overwhelmingly historical evidence says that, you know, the religions, all religions of the world are fabrications. It's just a matter of how successful are they. That was what I got, like, the biggest weird, dirty looks for in that class when I would say that out loud. Other things, of course, you know, free will is a joke. That philosophy's been dead and tired and done with now for a few centuries. You know, all of science is based on the fact that we have models that work. Anything we believe about free will is purely for self-esteem. We're just writing that still because in our daily life, you know, it doesn't come up like, can you do your job if you still believe that, you know, you're completely free of all or some factors in the universe. You know, the average person doesn't have to be right about almost anything. So, you know, in society we live in today, it's hard to really believe the right things. You have to really look things up. I will eventually do videos talking about, you know, actually talking about what's in the Bible at some point, because I follow a lot of atheists on YouTube. I'll definitely say that. I'll make it real obvious because I'm just talking about, you know, the Gospels, fabrication, whatnot. I follow a lot of them. I've never seen a video that just straight up, what really helped me was my world religions class, where the guy literally talked about what went into, you know, in Buddhism, for example. You know, the Buddha lived about 250 years before anything was written about him. You know, you pick a historical figure that's at least far enough removed that no one's going to call BS immediately, but has somewhat of a reputation so you can build on it. There's like that window there.
For some people, this whole conversation is quite depressing. So
yeah, I haven't seen an analysis of that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to definitely the Matrix retrospective and analysis is next. That's why I did the Ghost in the Shell one. I look at it as a prereq, because, you know, it was a huge inspiration on the Matrix. And also, like, when I get to the Matrix AI conversation at the end of Reloaded, I've got, you know, I've got some weight on my shoulders because I've done this conversation and the dialogue from Ghost in the Shell. And, well, if you know me by now, maybe you understand where I'm probably going to go with that, but, you know, I'll leave that up to you to watch the video to see what I talk about and say. But yeah, so, yeah, screw Roger Ebert. He is a complete idiot when it comes to anything involving video games. He does not deserve to say anything. But, you know, the thing is, it really is a matter of how old are you and how removed from modern culture, so you can alienate it from what you understand and consider it just so different that you can say, oh yeah, it's not art because I'm interacting with it. Well, yeah, screw you. It's not 100% interaction. It's got these cuts. Just the fact that it has a single cutscene in it in any video game. You know, Hideo Kojima referenced the original Super Mario Brothers in the G4 documentary, I think, when he was talking about what inspired him to think, oh, cinematics are possible in video games. And God, there's so much to be said. The video's done, but oh man, there's really so much to be said about how much it is a generational thing, how we view video games. And exactly how much we're willing to put bank in them as art. And, yeah, that's really all I've got to say for now. I want to make my Matrix retrospective video next. That's next on my agenda. I've got quite a few other videos in my head down the line. I might do stuff about computer video information, and of course the videos about the Bible. And also there's an episode of Frontline called Digital Nation from like 2009 I really want to make a response to, basically to tell people exactly how wrong the older generation, the old guard, if you will, how wrong they are when it comes to their way of thinking about technology in modern society. Well, All right, that does it for me. Hopefully you guys will hear from me in only another week or so or less. I really want to snag that Quinton Flynn interview. If you guys think I should say any questions in particular, obviously, you know, let me know. The maybe 100 people, not even 100 people, I get like maybe 100 views in the next week before I might get that interview with him. So, yeah, just shoot me anything about that.